Hi, I'm Rajiv Satyal. I'm a comedian and a host. I am Indian.
And I'm American. So this show will tell the story of Indians in America.
I live right here in Los Angeles, the home of Warner Brothers, Disney, and now Funny Indian Productions. My guest picks a game, and we play it. So enjoy. What do you bring to the table? Welcome everybody to this edition of What Do You Bring to the Table? I'm your host Rajiv Satyal, and I'm thrilled to be sitting here with Deepica Mutyala.
You said it right.
I nailed it. We were talking about, is it a tuh sound or a thuh sound?
It's just like, I thought it was a tuh, but if your mom, who's a Hindi teacher, thinks it's tuh.
No, but for you, she was telling me about Tucker.
Okay.
The name Tucker. She wasn't saying Mutyala.
Mutyala, South Indian.
Which, okay, so which of the four, maybe 5, 6, depending on how you define it, Indian states do you hail?
We're from Andhra.
Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, Hyderabad.
Yes.
That, like, are you Hyderabad adjacent, or are you like way away from there?
We're like tiny, tiny village. I say Hyderabad because nobody knows what Kakinada is, but that's I'm a Kakinada girl.
I still don't know what it means.
Well, they're known for their kajals, Kakinada kajals.
Oh.
A dessert that you have to have.
That I will have to have.
Yeah. But the biryani from Hyderabad you've had.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, who are you talking to?
Okay, all right.
Hersha, my wife, is thrilled that you're here because she kept texting me. She's like, when are you going to text me? Because she's hanging out with Oprah. She's launching Tinted Beauty. She's like, she's going to eventually say no. She's like, you got to grandmother her in.
Okay,
before
well,
it's too late.
There's recording of it now. If I become that, you better like punch me in the face, because that's not
But
okay.
then you'll be able to cover it up with your makeup.
Exactly.
That's the good thing.
Exactly.
You can show, like, if I hit you, you're like, you know what, I got this. You're still going to jail.
Let's not get to that point, but yeah.
Let's not hopefully ever get to that point. So you weren't born in Andhra though.
I was born in Chicago.
Chicago.
But
okay.
like right after that went to Sugar Land. So I grew up in Sugar Land my whole life.
That's so outside of Houston.
Outside of Houston.
Sugar Land is the Artesia of LA, or the Edison of New York.
Everybody knows someone from Sugar Land.
Our cousins live there.
There you go.
No joke.
Plano and Sugar Land are like the two suburbs of Texas.
They rep Hillcroft, you know. They go down,
100%.
they rep it hard.
And you know what's crazy? So when I grew up there, I like hated being Indian. And that's the crazy part in Sugar Land because everyone around me was blonde hair, blue eyes, and so and the cool kids were at least, right?
Sure,
so like I dyed my hair blonde, I got blue contacts. Like I was that girl. I know. And
but there were multiple that girls. I felt like there was a lot of that pressure.
Yeah, that's fair. There was multiple of those girls for sure, but I think for me what was so hard was that like now reflecting what I stand for and all I care about doing is kind of making it so that girls growing up now don't feel that way because I so tried to turn into someone I wasn't.
Right.
And it's so icky to even say now because I'm obsessed with my family, I'm obsessed with my culture.
Yeah.
But I think it all has to go back to the fact that I looked at magazines and TV and I didn't see anyone who looked like me.
Of course.
So it made me want to change who I was because they were the cool kids. I grew up from a medical doctor family, 41st cousins, all doctors. Everyone wanted me to be a doctor. You know, quintessential stereotypical Indian family for sure. But I always made it clear to my dad. He always says that when my sister was reaching for a stethoscope, I was reaching for a lipstick, like since day one.
That's cute. That's funny.
He always says that he has
They
memories
do that
of
in
it.
India, like they have you reach for like the pen or the
there
dollar.
there was no pen, there was no dollar. Like
Yeah.
he said that I was always gravitating towards whenever my mom was doing makeup, like always trying to like, and it's just funny in full circle to think about because a red lipstick is literally what changed my life, like in like 5 different ways.
You know, when you go to the doctor's office and you're sitting there and the nurse, especially when you're a kid, the pediatrician, whatever, and the nurse walks in and he or she has the injection, the shot. And you're like, oh, is today a day I get my tetanus shot? So I see the makeup. And that's what scared me, because you literally brought something to the table.
That's amazing. Yeah, I had to. I'm the makeup girl. I have to, right?
And we've got to be clear, though. You're a beauty influencer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the term whenever people ask me, like, what is your title? What are you? And I say I'm an entrepreneur because I think there's a thing that, like, people don't get when they hear YouTuber, right? And they think a lot of things, but they don't think like businesswoman. That's not one thing they think of. And I think that that's slowly changing, but it's like not there yet. And for me, I went into the YouTuber thing after being on the corporate side of beauty. So like most people that are beauty influencers on YouTube are makeup artists that like started their channel as a way to like expand their audience and reach. And for me, I was on the corporate side of beauty, and I had I just honestly launched it for fun. I worked in Columbus, Ohio for Victoria's Secret.
My home state.
My job wasn't to do the influencer relations or to do content for them. I was like a brand manager. So I lasted 9 months there, and I got an offer from Birchbox, and I quit my job, took a pay cut, and went and did this job at this, at the time, small company called Birchbox, and it was the best decision of my life. Wow. I mean, it was such a huge risk. It was what Birchbox's total worth was what Victoria's Secret in one store pulls in a week. So like when you put it into scale like that, it was like from...
It was a dumb decision.
It was a dumb decision, but you know why it wasn't in my parents' eyes? Because the two founders went to Harvard Business School. So like, they went to Harvard Business School. My kids will go to Harvard Business School.
Not lay off of that. Like that's all you had to say.
Literally, yeah. They didn't care about the pay, anything. They were just very much, in a support of it because they thought they could support me to get to HBS. And so I started working at Birchbox. I had a beauty blog, and one of the editors at Birchbox found the beauty blog, and she was like, do you want to do content for us? So I kind of became like the token brown girl for Birchbox and started doing videos for them. But it was just fun. Like, it wasn't my job. It was just like when you're at a startup, all hands on deck, right? Startup. So
yeah, totally.
It was dope. I got to do like video content for them, and before I knew it, I was on billboards in New York City subway stations with them, and they had a brick and mortar store, and it was like my face was like on it. And to be totally honest, I'm not even trying to sound cheesy, it was just, I felt like it was a win for brown people. I was like, my face is on a subway.
Yeah, that's not cheesy at all.
It was cool. It was cool because I literally remember growing up not seeing that. Even Rachel Roy, she didn't have her face in her like.
Right, she was behind the scenes.
She was behind the scenes. Of course, she was interviewed and stuff, and not that much. And so, yeah, it was dope. But then after that, they started doing influencer stuff, and they asked if I want to work on that stuff. And I very much was at Birchbox for the purpose of soaking in and learning as much as I could before I went and started my own thing. And I was that 16-year-old girl saying I wanted to start a beauty line for South Asian girls. Like I said that at 16.
That is impressive.
It's like crazy.
Knew early.
I knew early. I knew I would walk into grocery stores and see colors that wouldn't work for my skin tone, and I was like, this is psycho. And so I went into college thinking I was going to start D Pearl Cosmetics, which Deepica Mutyala means pearl. So it's like D Pearl. Yeah, like
so dope.
I like thought I was starting this whole revolutionary beauty line for South Asian women, but it's cool because I mean, Tinted to me is exciting because it's not only for South Asian people, but it's inclusive of South Asian people. But it's so much bigger than that, and I think that's where the world is heading towards, where we're all inclusive and rather than
we're all tan, we're all beige.
I think we're all gonna be mutts one day. We're all gonna be mutts. Yeah. Oh my God, I've never done.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, honestly, that's funny. Oh my God. I just think everyone's gonna be a mixed race and hybrid of some race at some point, and I'm here for it.
You're on the cutting edge of it, the bleeding edge of it.
Yeah, and so when I was at Birchbox, basically I started doing the influencer stuff, and I kind of just was like, I was the girl people would always ask for beauty tips. They would text about it and be like, what's the new lipstick that I should be getting? So I was like, why don't I just start a YouTube channel for nothing else, at least for my friends and family to like go there instead of bug me about it, because I was that person for them.
Well, that's how things start. Like when it's for somebody, you already have an audience, isn't it? You know, they say that which is most personal is most general. So instead of just like trying to write the be-all, end-all, you try to do something where you create something you wish existed in the world. And that's what you did. You already had someone watching it, whatever, and then you make this video, how to remove, what is it? How to remove circles?
Dark circles, which you don't really have that issue, which is kind of annoying.
It is surprising because I don't have great skin, but I don't have bad skin. Like I don't have the circles.
Hyperpigmentation you definitely don't have. And so yeah, I mean, I basically, my second video, I picked up my iPhone, held it vertically instead of horizontally, so it was so poorly produced. It was so jank. Oh my God, it had black panels on the side and everything, but it didn't.
Ironic, because you're trying to get rid of black and you're like, you know, we'll put in the black panels.
Exactly.
Like, you see it and you're like, that got what, 11 million?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, and when that video hit, it was my second video I had ever posted, so I didn't even have ad revenue activated because I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, by no means did I think that many people would see it, but it was because of BuzzFeed. They picked it up, and then it was just like, I would wake up and it was like Vogue India, Cosmo UK, Daily Mail, Elle Spain, Refinery 20, like boom, 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 and it's like, I had to set up a Google alert. It was crazy.
It's so real. right?
Yeah.
It's not like it wasn't staged, you know,
Totally.
and you're just like, here it is, it's a functional thing that needs to exist in the world, and boom.
Yeah, I wasn't trying, you know,
Yeah.
I showed myself without makeup, I showed it with the, like, I very much think that realism and authenticity is like such a buzzword right now, but it's so true to my story, and like, it was crazy because that video, when it hit 4 million views, I was sitting at my desk at Birchbox and I got an email from the Today Show to come on to do the red lipstick trick on air. And my heart sunk to my stomach and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be the Indian Hoda. This is like my moment. I like had this like, I was like finally, because I think in the back of my mind, I so badly wanted to be the like the brown Juliana Rancic, but I would like look on E! News and I would see a size 0 white woman doing it, thinking there's no way. That was like almost a crazy dream. So like to me, it was like I didn't even say it out loud. I would only say, oh, I'm gonna be in the beauty industry. So that to me was the realistic, still risky because it's not a doctor, lawyer.
Of course it is.
But it was like my version of pushing the limits, doing the beauty industry. So when that call came, I was like, this is my chance to really do something that I never even in my wildest dreams thought I could be doing.
That is insane.
It was cool. And so on the segment, my sister was my model.
Okay.
My dad was backstage with Kid Rock, so that was fun. It was
wow.
I know.
Dude.
It was hilarious.
That is pretty intense.
It was so funny. I mean, the whole thing, and it was such a cool experience. But I remember when I quit my job that day that I got the email from the Today Show because I just had this moment in my stomach that was like, I'll always wonder what if I don't just fully go for it versus like, you know, things at that point I was already debating what was next for my life and career anyway. So when that
How old were
happened,
you?
it was my sign. I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm 28
so
now, so
yeah. Okay.
So it was, I had been at Birchbox for 3 years, so I was like, in my mind, like, already thinking about Harvard Business School. I literally taken the GMAT, asked them for my recommendation letters.
I did the whole thing.
So I totally was thinking like, HBS, then start my own beauty line. The other option was, I was talking to Birchbox about doing my own line with them. I was like, why do I have to wait? I already know what I want to do.
Right.
And then I also got offers to like start companies. So there's so many things like happening.
So why didn't you do it at Birchbox?
Yeah, that's I mean, to be honest.
Because that seems like that'd be the most organic. Like when I worked at a startup called Procter & Gamble.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of this place. And there was a guy, Maurice Coffee, shout out to Maurice. He was like, man, you're a creative guy. Why don't you why don't you write some content for our homemade simple newsletter? 15 million subscribers, right? And so I'm like, okay. So I mean, I was doing the side hustle as well. So I get what you mean. It was like, but there's nowhere to go at the Peach to be able to like do it full time there. But in your case, there kind of was. Like,
there was. By the way, I have to give them a shout out, Katya and Haley. They're both like two badass, successul. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. I'm sorry.
You can now because we've had so many guests do it that I'm like, you know what? We'll either bleep it out or we just
okay,
won't,
cool.
So whatever. I don't know what Ganesh thinks about it, but it's okay.
No.
I thought about it. I was like, you know, how are we gonna do this? But I'm like, I don't know.
How are you gonna put Ganesh behind us? Well, it's fine. I'm drinking sparkling water.
That's fine. You're not drinking like whiskey.
Yeah,
or
we're
anything.
good. We're good.
Oh, you're supposed to do my makeup.
Oh,
Can you do that while we talk? Is that
Sure.
fine? So you're gonna do kind of a just a normal, then we'll do the crazy one at the end.
Yeah, so I feel like you're obviously a stunning man. You don't need much on you, you know.
Bedside manner is a 10. You should have been a doctor, I tell you. That was really impressive. That was like making me feel pretty, which I don't think I am, so.
Beauty is all, you know, it's all in the eye of the beholder. And I feel like you need some little shimmer on your eyes.
Okay.
Let's give you, nope, closed.
Closed, okay, see,
We're gonna give you a little, it's just subtle, nothing aggressive. My makeup style has changed so much since being in this influencer world. Like, I am so wanting to stand for that person who does minimal makeup and lets girls realize, again, the whole idea of just like, you're beautiful as you are.
But I mean, a lot of people aren't, let's be honest. So there's that, and there's the whole idea of.
I disagree.
I remember, well, that's just part of my
Wait, this
house.
actually looks really good on you.
Does it really?
Yeah. Chanel, hello.
I don't know how I look, but I'm going to assume I look
Wow,
good.
no, it looks great.
Oh, wow, this is amazing.
By the way, it wouldn't even be weird if you, like, a lot of dudes, man makeup is a thing.
It's becoming a thing now, right?
It's a thing.
I don't know that I would. I remember the first time I thought I put on makeup is like when I had acne pretty bad in high school, in middle school, and I would put, you know, that Oxy 10 and cover it, and I'm like, am I putting on makeup right now? It kind of feels like I'm putting on makeup, which, you know, I don't know if I would ever get to that point. Some people watching are like,
well,
you're past that
listen,
point.
especially guys with like under eye bags and stuff, a little concealer doesn't hurt.
You know, I mean,
a little red lipstick under the eyes doesn't hurt.
Quite sexist, but there was a male stand-up comic who said, money is makeup for men.
That's funny.
Pretty good though.
That's actually really
pretty good though, right?
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
That's a good one.
We were in New York City, and I was with Hersha, my wife, and a few friends, and I texted you, and I said, do you want to come meet us?
So fun.
And you said, I gotta tell you, I have literally no makeup on right now. And when women say that, generally, they're like, they still have concealer or they still have something. And you showed up with no makeup.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That is some serious confidence.
Well, I mean, first of all, the amount of times the amount of my life that I have to be done up, if I don't have to be, I'm 0 or 100. Like, I'm like,
You were 0.
Yeah, I was pretty 0. Wow, can we just keep talking about how 0 I was? That's cool. I'm controlling makeup on your face right now, remember that.
You could poke my eye out.
Yeah,
There's a lot of...
But I think it's also important because I think like somebody that's I mean, listen, I have a platform that I'm able to show girls that it's okay to be able to be comfortable without any makeup on, and I think that's important.
It is important.
Do you really think that? I think you wish I had a bunch of makeup on that day.
No, I think that it showed me that because I've seen some women that I was like, wow, and I saw them without makeup. I'm like, it can be a real, it can be a real game changer
for sure.
And men can't do, like for me especially with height, I also have no hair, so I can't even make myself taller with hair. And it's like the only thing I can either go on that end, which I can't, or I can make myself taller. And the only way to do that is wear punk boots or cowboy boots.
LOL.
I'm like, I have to either change my entire
Wait, this is making
look.
a difference.
Is this good or
It's
bad?
just like really.
Does it give me like texture or?
It's texture. Wow, you're getting deep. It's just evening out the skin. Not that you really need it, but it's
No,
definitely.
I don't have great skin, but I've never done anything for it. I don't use any lotion or moisturizer or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Maybe I should.
I mean, I'm about my skincare game lately more than makeup game.
Okay.
Because it's like.
What's the difference? So skincare is more addressing like not medical, but
it's more like
functional versus aesthetic.
The reality is that like your makeup's only as good as your skincare, right? So it's like if you're caking things on your face, but the base of it is not so hot, then like you got issues. So taking care of my skin and actually having a proper routine, I never had as a kid because all my mom used was oil of Olay and like St. Ives apricot scrub.
No Fair and Lovely.
Oh, 100% Fair and Lovely.
I was gonna say, come on.
100%. Are you kidding? I'm South Indian.
I was gonna say, y'all keep it, man. They keep it in business.
Oh my God, I had to literally avoid the sun my entire childhood.
Yeah, especially for girls, that was a big thing.
I know, it's so lame. I actually love the sun. I love being a little darker skinned too. Like I'm not even in the scale of things, but with brown girls, that's the perception. I just have to put a little more right here and then we're good.
Please no, this is the more the merrier.
Wonderful. At the end of the day, I'm like your everyday girl who just happens to be obsessed with makeup. I'm a beauty junkie and I get sent a lot of them and I get to test them out and tell you what works for you. It's almost like taking the clutter out of the market for girls who want tips and advice from.
So do you come up with like a regimen for girls or women? Or I mean, or for anyone, I shouldn't just say that, for anybody who's willing, would you say this is what you need? Can you get that granular with
Hell
people?
no, I'm not a makeup artist. Like I feel like I could not tell somebody, like I can tell you what works well on me, so if you have my skin color or skin type, and I always make that clear, this works on me, I hope it works on you too. But I feel like people are now watching my videos more and more for things outside of beauty, including my family, which makes me very excited. So the views on the videos.
Well, your family's not 11 million people, so.
Oh my God.
So my family and friends got it too, you know.
It's true, it's true. But it is crazy that the videos, including my sister's wedding, like one of them has 2 million views, one, like my vlogs with my family has 150,000, versus my videos with my makeup are like 50K views, right? So it's like interesting and it's awesome for me.
Right.
Because it's gotten to a point where the beauty stuff for me has sort of, I've done it for 3 years, right? And it was like awesome. I mean, there was this one moment, so when I quit my job at Birchbox, I didn't tell my parents, because Indian parents, I was terrified.
Right.
I just quit and I went home for a weekend and I was like, I just need a weekend to like chill before shit hits the fan. And so I went home, sitting on the couch, dad watching Teja TV or some channel, whatever, Gemini or something, I don't know. But he was like, come into the study. And I literally thought I was gonna get shipped off to India and arranged marriage. Like he knew, I was like, my life's done, blah, blah, blah. And I go in there and I'm like, Dad, like I don't want to hear it. And I knew he found out through the Indian grapevine. I told one uncle, he told his dad, he told my dad. It was like a whole thing. Yeah, of course. And I get there and he like hands me a check and I'm like, what is happening? And he's like, don't think of this as me giving my daughter money. Think of this as me investing in somebody I believe in. And I cried and I tore up the check because I was so dramatic and I tore it up and I was like, I don't need your money. I just needed to know you believe in me. And like since then, I felt this like confidence of like, oh my God, my dad like is on my side. He's an Indian dad who wanted me to go to med school more than anything in the world and is down for a girl who's just going for her hustle as an entrepreneur.
Dude, that's pretty dope.
It was dope. It was shocking. That's also what it was. But it was awesome because it just showed that like they believe. Honestly, at the end of the day, I didn't know when my next paycheck was coming. But it came pretty quick after that because I felt this like hustle in me. I was like my own publicist. You know how this works. It's like I had a fake assistant email at that I was just really me, and I would just be emailing people.
Oh yeah, the George Clooney model.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, apparently that's what he did. He like set up a bunch of things, had his friend be his manager, and it just kind of propelled him to the next.
Perception's reality, so I just had to keep doing it. Fake it till you make it. You know, one of those.
Well,
things.
I mean, when you have your parents in your corner, like a lot of people go and get the world's approval and be fighting for the world's approval, but really they want their dads or their moms.
100%.
So once you have that in your corner.
He told me he was proud of me after seeing me on the Today Show, and it was like my everything.
Dude, I mean, that's just mic drop. It's done. Like, I mean, you've arrived, you've made it.
I'm so distracted by your beautiful eyeshadow right now.
I don't even know what I look like. I don't
my
know
God.
if it's, is it good? Did you kill it?
I'm kind of obsessed. Is this the one I gave her, because I kind of want it back?
Yeah, because you gave my wife some makeup, and she was so happy that you got it.
I love your wife, and I don't know if you remember this, but I met you. Oh no, you do remember this. It was at my friend's wedding. You were doing stand-up comedy for it.
We were Ashish Mutyala, our friend, mutual friend, introduced us, and then you emailed me because you only had my email. You're like, you're doing stand-up at this wedding, and you're killing it. She gave me a compliment.
You were killing it for real.
Fun.
Yeah, that's where I first, and then we reconnected in New York.
Yeah.
And now I live here.
That's so crazy.
I know.
That is amazing. Full circle, I guess, in some sort of way. What's your shirt all about? What is this?
So my shirt says my skin is not a trend, and it is about my digital community that I just launched in January, which was called Live Tinted.
I like that.
And so the whole concept really is for all the shades in between, creating a community online that's really making it so people can get answers to questions, their beauty concerns, but it's now, the coolest part is it's like grown so much bigger than just beauty concerns, and it's turned into like people connecting from different cultures and ethnicities to have this conversation around how they grew up and kind of uniting
like a lifestyle,
people.
their background stories.
Yeah, it's dope. Like we'll talk about everything from facial hair to like growing to divorce, relationships, health, body image.
Oh, so just life stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, just everything.
And it's an Instagram. We instead of launching it on like a blog, I don't think people even read blogs anymore.
I feel like
video,
we moved beyond that.
Short form video, we have an interview series, and I think the whole cool part about it is that you're able to see that like just because I'm South Asian doesn't mean I can't connect to someone Latina, Middle Eastern.
Right.
We all have this commonality, and it comes down to this beauty standards.
The people of color.
Yeah.
So, like, I always say that we can never get a straight answer out of an Indian because we're not black or white, we're brown, we're the new gray.
100%.
We're like right in the middle.
We're the
right?
mutts.
We're the mutts, right? The beige, the tan, whatever. So it's great that you've created this. And I like Live Tinted because we're talking about the names of things. I like it because tinted is a great word. It's like the word turned. Like, let's get turned.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like tinted. It's got such a great
and everyone feels
cadence
connected.
to it.
When you hear tinted, you see the spectrum of shades and stuff that you're speaking to. So I'm really proud of it because being a beauty influencer in this game for 3 years, it's been awesome. But I think the idea of being able to help other people get discovered and people feel like they have a community to have this conversation, give them a platform is really important to me, and I enjoy it way more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pumped. So I can go now?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you can go, but I didn't see you. I didn't see a.
Wait, no. So you just lost, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, really? Go. No, you know what? You just lost.
No! No!
Oh, I love how you even called it. You're like, you're about to lose, but you're gonna win both ways. I know. I was like, because when you said it's your turn, I was trying to have a poker face and be like, no, it's yours, because I knew. I was like, oh, now she's gonna know I gotta move.
That's what happens when you get cocky like that.
You know what? What's up?
I was so excited. That's why I was like, when can I go?
I hate to pull the rug out on you. I was like, you know what? You're being such a good sport. I'm like, you know what? But then when you got cocky with that move, I'm like, you know what, son? Boom.
Damn.
That's what's up.
Damn.
What did you get a degree? Did you get a degree?
Marketing.
In marketing from UT Austin.
Yeah. Macomb School of Business.
My wife's alma mater, and so that's pretty awesome. Now, you should be repped by UTA because then you could have like,
That's
University
funny.
of Texas Austin. You should just submit that to them.
That's hilarious.
I went to the Apple store to get a discount because I said, oh, I'm at UCB, and I really meant Upright Citizens Brigade, the improv. And they thought it was University of California, Berkeley.
Oh my
That's why they gave me the discount.
Stop it.
But I didn't realize until after he did it, and I'm signing the receipt, and he goes, oh, so how long you been at Berkeley? And I'm like,
that's
Berkeley.
hilarious.
Because I wouldn't have taken I'm super like Honest Abe. My wife always calls me Honest Abe. She's like, you would have returned the discount. I'm like, I know. I always feel bad. Like I've never stolen anything. Lie and cheat, but I don't steal. I draw a line
I don't believe
somewhere
that you
there.
cheat.
I don't cheat on my wife, not like that. But I mean, like, have you ever cheated on a test or cheated on some?
Right.
Like
Different.
that kind of thing. That's a very different thing.
Very different.
For the record, let's be very clear about that. funniest movie you've seen, or a funny movie that comes to mind?
This is so lame, and it's also one of my favorite movies, and I'm gonna be judged, but I love Mean Girls.
I love Mean Girls.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. I quote from it all the time. And people are like, that's a little weird that you quote from Mean Girls that much. I go, no, I love all those, like, Heathers in the 80s, Clueless in the 90s, and Mean Girls in the zeros. And I love all those movies.
Man, it's so much of a deeper movie than people understand.
It is. There's a lot to it. I think they're turning it into a Broadway.
Yes, I
Tina
love
Fey was
that.
talking about that, how she's turning
that.
it into that. I think it's a phenomenal movie.
Well, thank you. All right.
Whatever, I'm getting cheese fries. My brother, both of them live in New York, and one of them works in marketing at Heineken, and the other works in publishing, and he was doing the naming stuff. He's so into Mean Girls, he's gay. This is how gay he is. He got pink shirts, and he had us all wear something, a quote from the movie Mean Girls.
That's incredible. I want to be a part of this like right now.
It was incredible, and mine was gruel.
Dead.
Dead, right? Hashtag dead. What genre of music is just noise to you?
Just noise?
Mm-hmm. Where you're just like, that kind of music. And no offense, no disrespect to those artists, but you're like, this is not my cup.
I'm not like a rock person, like
a Kid Rock person.
Well, he was nice, so
Yeah.
I don't want to say. But in general, like when I hear like Metallica and stuff like that, like I don't.
That's not your jam.
I just don't know how to. I'm so basic with music. I'm so top 40s, and it's so basic.
I'm pretty top 40. Are you a Beyonce woman? Houston.
But if you're
H-Town.
not a Beyonce person,
My
I don't
wife's
want to know
not
you.
My wife's not a Beyonce. She's like, man, she's just kind of a hood rat. I'm like, look at you, calling Beyonce hood rat. She's
That
like,
takes some serious guts.
some ovaries, because she doesn't have balls.
Yeah, yeah.
She is just like, yeah, man, I just remember from her Houston days, pre-Destiny Child. She's like, come on, she's not all that. And I'm like, whoa, you don't think Beyonce is all that?
The come up is real, and she was not from like the hood.
No, right. The come up is real. But I'm more of a Rihanna person, so there you go.
Oh yeah.
Rihanna
bad
kills
girl.
it. She's a gangster. She is. I saw her in concert with Eminem. Like Eminem wasn't with me, but I saw them. In concert.
Right. I think that was
just
clear.
to clarify.
Right.
Just in case, you know, although I do love Eminem. What would it mean to pull a you? So it's like, you know, man, that girl just pulled a Deepica. What would that be?
Oh, I guess it would be. I keep looking at the makeup. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
What would it be though to pull a me? I mean, I still to this day, 3 years later, get girls who said like, I used your red lipstick trick under my eyes and to hide my circles, and like it's like you're the girl with the red lipstick, like the girl with the red lipstick. So I still get that, and I don't mind it. It's not one of those things that I'm
like the girl with the dragon tattoo, but you're the girl with the red lipstick.
I guess so.
It's like a sequel.
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. Sure. But I feel like.
In case your skin is dragon, you know, she'll.
Oh my God.
I'm just
like.
I know it never ends. It never ends.
Yeah.
You're on Jeopardy, and it lights up like these categories. You're like, I'm killing. Like, what do you know a lot about? Like categories where you're like, man.
This is why I wanted to be an E-News correspondent. Is like I'm such a pop culture junkie.
Okay.
Like I could like nail that in a second, and then randomly, I'm not even kidding. This is like, history was my thing.
Yeah?
I loved history. I wasn't like the math typical
Okay, you went for like the
Indian.
left brain.
No, I really like history. I just like to know like random facts and things
What's
like that.
Like what's your period in geography? Do you like?
To me, my actual like obsession. I'm so fascinated with American history during like the Civil War time, which is kind of ironic. I really am like obsessed with it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is so interesting. I think we're finding a new wave of like I don't know. I love like how active people are being right now with the recent unfortunate situation in our political climate.
It's very unfortunate, but I think, you know, I'm going to write 3 posts maybe eventually, and I've had them in my mind. One of them is about anxiety since the election, and I have no history of depression or anxiety.
Yeah.
But the anxiety since then. Second is how Trump is pure evil, and third is why I'm glad he won. And and I've had to find the silver lining in it because I'm so anti-Trump, but I'm like, there are a couple things he's done that I do like, I'll be honest, but there are so many things that the reaction against him, the resistance has been so strong.
Totally.
Like the Me Too movement straight up would not have happened.
100%.
Would not have happened. And people are like, why? I'm like, because it's such a perfect storm of things that have to exist that you look at it and you go, if the Me Too movement and female empowerment is the only, and empowerment not just of females but across the gender spectrum, if that's what comes out of the Trump presidency, it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win. It's a hard thing to say sitting here right now, and you can hear my voice like going up and like, how do I?
No, but I'm with you on that.
But you're like, if that's
you have to find the silver lining. Is the
to.
reality is like otherwise you just like wake up and you're just like, oh God, this country, why this happened? But I think you're right. I mean, the amount of sort of activism that I've seen, and it's turned social media almost, of course it has so many negative sides to it, but it's so exciting to see, like, I'm
People
very,
are engaged.
the Me Too thing I'm very excited about.
People, speaking of silver lining, so I want to see you take my, like, crazy makeup. Like, this is your chance to go nuts.
So you openly talked about having anxiety and depression?
I don't have a history of anxiety or depression, but since the election, I've had a lot of anxiety. But I think a lot of people in this field do have a lot of it, so I think it's very common.
I made a video on YouTube about it, and it was my first one really opening up and how I like moved home for a month about it. And the amount of like response I got from girls saying like, thank you, made it so worth it. It's a scary thing to openly talk about. It's such a taboo, especially I think in South Asian culture. And so it felt good to be able to go out there and say like, yeah.
Sure. The girl with the dragon taboo. Can we just keep going? Can we just keep going?
This is why you get paid the big bucks.
This is why I get paid $0 to make my own show. Okay, one of these days. It wasn't supposed to be that funny.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm trying to think of how much I can F
So
you
what
up.
are we going for? Are we going for like just make me like artistic
my favorite
crazy?
look
Like, I mean, I
is-
could take makeup and just go stupid on my face. But
No,
like,
let's go for a monochromatic look. It's kind of
Okay.
my go-to. What that means is you take like the same color on your lids to your cheeks and your lips.
Wow,
It's
okay.
like, let's go for like a blushy pink on all
Okay.
the above.
Why am I allowing her to do this? But I'm just.
I
never
don't
got to
know,
do
but
this.
I'm here for it.
My brother right now is very jealous because he's gay and he
I
wrote
wanna
about
meet your
it.
brother.
Yeah, you need to meet him. He's in New York and he'd be totally into this. He's like, yeah, this,
at
you
that
are not
nice
cool
little
enough to
blush
get
action.
this treatment.
Rosy
So.
cheeks.
I'm sure you get asked to do a lot of things. How do you say no to people?
I always think about, this is so crazy, but I think the smartest thing people can do, and vice versa, is think about how you can help the person versus how they can help you. And so whenever I go into meetings or when people approach me, if they say, I'd love to get coffee to pick your brain about something, it's not a person that I think is worth the time, because they should be approaching it and thinking how they could be helping me. I just think that time is the most valuable thing that you can have, and now that I'm starting Tinted and there's 2 businesses I'm running right now, it's like you have to really prioritize your priorities or you'll go psycho.
Of course, because you can make more money, but you can't make more time.
Exactly, and I think I'm really, right now more than ever, my uncle passed away at the end of last year.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, but it just made me more like obsessed with hanging out with my family as much as I can, and so like me making time for them is like the most important thing in my life, and that means cutting out a lot of unnecessary events and meetings and people that just like
Cut the fat.
Yeah, honestly, that's like really important, especially as you grow your businesses. You'll recognize that like you're gonna have to do that in order to be able to sustain everything.
I completely agree. In what ways do you sort of, do you feel old, and in what ways do you feel young?
Well, I feel old when I go back to, I see my nieces and nephews and stuff, and I'm like literally vouching so hard for Instagram stories, and they'll be like, it's all about Snapchat. And I'm like, what? That's not relevant because I think about my business, and I'm like, people don't look at Snapchat. I'm like, oh my God, I'm old. I don't even have followers that are that young to where I would grow on there, and like, it's when it comes to social media things is when I start to feel old, and I thought I was the hip one, like I'm the one teaching you or something,
Right.
And no, I'm not, because the reality is with social media, it changes every 0.2 seconds. So
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's just
well, you
evolved
actually
so
look
quickly.
really good right now. I'm not even terrified of it. I'm like into it.
Oh wow, this is something.
Yeah.
We'll see what my wife says. She might just be like, yeah. Maybe I should leave this for the next interview. That'd be kind of funny.
Oh, when I meet people born in the like
70s.
The opposite. I feel old when somebody says that they're born in like the 2000s.
Oh,
I'm like,
I know,
what?
it's crazy. I know.
What?
Like they weren't alive during 9/11.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God, that trips me out.
That's really crazy, and they're old enough to vote almost. Do you have any celebrity stories? I mean, I saw you hanging out with Oprah. Like, do you have any kind of funny celebrity run-ins or anything like that?
It was Rachel Roy. For me, Rachel Roy, because I always wanted to be in the beauty fashion world. Rachel Roy was the only person out there that was a fashion designer that was Indian, and she was repping being Indian. And so it was really cool because I met her at a bar once in New York City, and I just went up to her and I was like, screw it. I was like, it's one of those things that you're just like, I care so much about like what she's done for me personally.
I don't care if I look like a fool. Who
don't
cares?
care. Don't care. And if she's who I want her to be, she'll be nice.
Right. And if she's not, then nothing lost.
And then nothing lost. Exactly.
Right.
At least I tried, right? So it was Minetta Tavern. Oh my God, I love that place. I went up to in New York, and I went up to her at the bar and I said that, and I told her, I was like, you have been such an inspiration to me. She gave me a hug. We like did the whole schmoozing thing, but like then I never heard from her again. I sent her a Birchbox the next day. No response. But the cool full circle moment of this is that like when my video went viral, her team reached out to me to like meet, which was really, really cool moment for me, because I remember saying I would never leave Birchbox unless it was to go to business school, start my own company, or work for Rachel Roy. And then when that video went viral, that's the Rachel Roy reached out to me. I told her that story. I was like, by the way, we've met before. She like obviously didn't remember. I'm putting some lip on you. What are you doing? Nope, you're getting lipstick.
V should take a picture of her doing this.
You just completely gave yourself so much like, you're bleeding on your lips, which is a thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, where you're like bleeding outside of your lips because you just talked. You just messed up all my work. I'm really upset.
Oh man.
I'm really
upset. It is a talk show. So I'm gonna keep talking.
I need you like this. Good job. Proud of you. But I think that was a cool moment for me because it was full circle, and it was cool to see somebody I had looked up to growing up reach out to me and say, like, that's a perfect example of that. I think Jessica Alba's story is pretty interesting.
Oh.
I saw her at a hotel lobby, and I literally approached it with that same concept of like, how can you help her versus vice versa?
That's a really great lesson, actually.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm wearing your Truly Berry Kissable lip color from Honest Beauty. I love it. I think you guys could do this differently. And she was like, come sit down, have a drink, and like we just talked.
Dude, that's amazing.
And since then, we've just like she's invited me to a lot of events and just.
Dude, like your dogs with Jessica Alba.
I mean, that sounds like an annoying name drop.
No, but I mean, let's name drop.
She's supportive. She's supportive.
Have you made it?
I don't think anyone who's like ambitious feels like they've ever made it. Like I feel like my standard of what I used to have these in my boxes of like check, check, check. Like I wanted to be on E! News, I did that. I wanted to be in a commercial, I did that. I've always dreamt of having my beauty product line. I'm doing that. And so like, I think now instead of saying that this beauty company that I want to start and launch is my ultimate goal, because it was, the 16-year-old version of me was always dreaming of it. It's now one of my big goals of like, I still want to book, I want to show, I want to do things. And I think it all comes back to this idea of like making girls feel like they are being represented.
Yeah, I mean, it's a noble, it gives you a purpose.
I feel like it's my purpose.
Yeah.
When you work in the beauty industry, it feels a little superficial, but then you recognize like how much girls genuinely feel this connection of how much like this lip that you have on your lip right now.
I left a lipstick mark on my glass. Never happened before, by the way.
I love it.
First time for everything.
I love it. I love it.
That's incredible.
But a lipstick can change a girl's entire mood when she walks into a room. She can feel confident and bold, and you can ask Harsha about it, I'm telling you. It's a game changer.
Wife doesn't need any makeup, but you know, I gotta say that, but true.
I agree.
She's natural beautiful. Beauty, which is legit. Is there someone in your field to whom you look up? Like, who is a great beauty influencer?
Well, I don't look at, in my field of beauty influencer, who I look up to is 100% Oprah. I mean, that was a really cool moment.
How'd you meet her?
Michelle Obama and things like that. Being a beauty influencer has got me the opportunity to meet some people I never in my wildest dreams would have thought. Like Oprah, because I went to the Wrinkle in Time premiere with Elizabeth Arden because they're a sponsor. And I got to go to the Golden Globes with L'Oreal. I got to go to the VMAs with Tarte. So like being a beauty influencer has gotten me really cool opportunities. Yeah. But who do I look up to?
Did they bring it because they were like Wrinkle in Time, or like, can you get the wrinkle out?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Oh man, that actually was a good one though.
It was it was conceptually good. Yeah, it was poorly delivered, but it was a conceptually good idea actually. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like for me, Kamala Harris is somebody I really admire, and I would love to interview for Hue to Know for Tinted, which we're working on. It's like those are the women that I want to kind of like remind people are actually good role models versus a lot of things you see on social media.
Yeah, the Kardashians. I said it, you didn't say it.
I'm not a Kardashian family hater. You gotta remember, man, they got family. They are, listen.
You can't get me started on the Kardashians, because I think reality TV, we have a reality TV president. He met with Kim Kardashian in the Oval Office to talk about prison reform. A friend of mine texted me that, and he goes, I would never thought I'd live to see the day where this happened. I said, look, wouldn't it be great if reality TV is a thing that destroys the empire? Because I've always hated it. I always felt like it was turning the cameras in on ourselves, and the fact that we have a reality TV president, the fact that we go down the tubes because of reality TV would be such poetic justice.
It would be poetic justice.
Like, it's worth the empire collapsing just for the joke.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Because comedians always want to tear things down. That's our thing. So it's like, I remember camping with my friends when I was in my teens, and I remember tearing the tent down by pulling a pole out, and the tent literally collapsed. And I'm laughing my ass off. And my friend Mark is like, where are we gonna sleep? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. And he goes, you're a smart guy. It's like, you've torn the tent down. Damn. And he's like, now we gotta sleep outside. I go, but wasn't it funny?
This is like some comedian stuff that I just like like, wow.
I was like, it's so funny to me. Wow. I was like, I'm laughing, it's worth the laugh. He's like, we're gonna shiver, he goes, I have to explain to you, we're sleeping in the elements now because of your joke. I go, but it's funny.
Wow. Oh, so it was worth it.
It's worth it to me. It makes me laugh to this day. So like, that was pretty funny that we had to sleep outside because I ripped a tent down just as a joke. I said something about a pole or like some kind of pun, and then I pulled the pole out and the whole thing fell. He goes, do you know how to build a tent? I go, no. He goes, Jeff left. He knows how to build a tent.
Oof.
I go, yeah, we're gonna have to sleep outside.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah, I know. It's all worth it for the joke.
I could glamp. I can't camp. No.
Camping is hard. It's the bathroom situation for me.
Yes.
So I love camping until I have to go to the bathroom. Now I'm like, I hate camping.
No.
Not a fan. I'm pretty top 1% when it comes to the bathroom situation.
Really quickly on the Kardashian thing.
Please.
Because I have such strong opinions about it.
Defend.
It's less about them being the problem, but they take up too much of the social media sort of like mind space and footprint that I just want. I feel like a part of my responsibility for the 250K the people that follow me is like to give. Well, I don't want to put that number.
No, you do, because it may change. It may go higher.
That's what I'm saying.
But when I told you that was a criteria, that you're like making sure. You're like, by the way, I do have
250K.
I'm like, otherwise you don't
I only
get on the
had
show.
like 50 million views on YouTube, but it's fine. I guess 250K is not enough. Whatever. It's fine.
Phenomenal.
It's fine.
That'll do. 50 million will do.
I'm glad.
You're the one who actually made it, so it's like as long as you have a video that has 10 million views.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you were the bottom. Yeah.
You're not kidding. I'm a zero without makeup, and I'm at the bottom of your list of interviews.
I make my guests feel so welcome.
You're so great. I think I
How
should
am I
use more
married?
makeup.
How am I married?
I don't know, especially with that snoring stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Without this makeup.
Comedians always get laid. It's a thing.
Well, being funny, it's an aphrodisiac.
I always say the thing, it's like big heart, close to family, and ambitious and funny. Funny. You gotta make, somebody's gotta make you laugh.
You're convicted of a white-collar crime. Which one do you?
You've already on me a bunch. Let's just keep going. What do you think I could be like convicted for?
You could be convicted for maybe your beauty line doesn't do what it said it would. Like,
oh my god, that would be my worst nightmare.
You say it's 100% renewable, free trade, whatever, and then you're busted, and it's not that. It turns out.
You know, I had real dreams about this.
Oh, I believe it.
It's like my.
Because that's still not something, to be real, not something you would do.
No,
okay?
That's
but
like,
that it blows up in your face, and we find out all along that Deepica was a fraud.
That would be my worst nightmare. Yeah, I think I have those fears because.
How did I turn on you in this interview?
I don't know. Why am I even here?
What happened? Yeah, why don't you just walk out?
Yeah, bye.
That's what they say about all the assault. Like, why didn't she just walk out? You're like, actually, I'm gonna walk out.
I wish you could talk about your criteria of how you pick your guests, because damn.
I can talk about the criteria. People would be like, oh, at least it'd be promo.
I'm still honored I made the cut, so it's fine.
When did you know you were good at what you do? Like, you're obviously great at what you do. When did you know you're like, I got this?
I'm really good at being a net connector and networking and like recognizing like people's strengths. And so I think my entire career has been a product of my network and building that network. And so like everything I've like kind of gotten is like when I quit my job at Birchbox, I had a Rolodex of brand client like friends.
Right.
That basically I was like, hey, I'm a beauty influencer. Do you want me to do a video with you? Do you want me to do this with you? Do you want me to do this? I would be that girl who would like cold email a friend of a friend of a friend who like used to work for Diddy, who's now like a very close friend of mine. And it's just like one of those things where like, if you go in with like a genuine positive intent and like, people can sniff the bull.
Yeah.
Always.
True.
So if you go in with like that right intent, like it shows. And so I think like everything that I've been able to build has been because I've been able to build a solid network, including you. That's why I'm here.
Aw. I don't know if email is too old of a reference. There was this thing called electronic mail. You kids are all about texting
What's
these
that?
days. You know, this crazy thing. What's it, like a fax?
Calling people? Who does
Weird.
that?
Who calls? I called you and you're
Yeah,
like, what?
I'm like, text
My
me
phone
back.
rings? That's weird.
Yeah.
So, what was your subject line for these, these people? Did you have like a clever like thing that you sent?
I would always have to start, especially right when I had quit my job, was Today's Show style expert or YouTuber with 10 million plus views, interested in partnership opportunity, and then in parentheses, YouTuber 10 million plus views.
I like it.
Because they need to hear that there's value add for them. Otherwise,
100%.
Why would they open it, or care
That's
to?
true.
So in the beginning, man, I was sending out like 200 emails at a time to everyone in my Rolodex, and I realized like I would get maybe a response from 1 or 2 people in the whole 200. I was like
Wow.
trying to be on Rachel Ray, like Dr. Oz, like all these things, blah, blah, blah. And then what I realized was if I just kept building content and posting things on my YouTube channel, people came to me. So like I stopped trying to be.
It was a pull instead of a push.
Yeah, it's like I was getting press and stuff that was being brought to me. So I just went back to like, why did that red lipstick video work? And it was because I wasn't trying. I was just doing me.
It was organic.
And it was organic.
It was real.
Yeah, and I didn't care what I looked like. And I was just, and sharing a tip that's like so many people have a concern
so
about.
useful. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody talks about that. They're
Yeah.
just like, it was a game changer. You made people feel beautiful and empowered and they could do something about it, and it was amazing. What is the most exciting live sporting event you've ever seen? You seem like you'd be pretty into sports.
Oh, that's funny.
Really?
You're
You do?
laughing, right?
No, I'm serious. You seem like you would be. I'm not joking.
I was a baller in college. Wow, no, in high school. That would be interesting. If
Yeah, I was gonna
played-
say, you're like, oh, I played D1, and it's like freaking, basketball or something. I'm like, whoa.
No,
Yeah.
in high school. I have a really good shot on me, but basketball to me is the most fun game to watch. I'm a girl who like enjoys it for the environment and like being there for that reason,
Okay.
not because of anything else.
Okay.
I can't believe you thought I was a sports.
No, I wasn't clowning you. I actually thought, I got a vibe from you that you might be somehow like a closet sport.
No.
Not of every sport ever, and you're like Sports Center obsessed or that kind of thing, but like there might be like a sport that you're really into.
Basketball is the sport I'm really into, but I need good seats to really get excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Fellas, if you're trying to take her out, take note, 50-yard line.
50-yard line.
Like freaking
box.
Ludicrous.
I could do a box.
I could do a box, maybe.
Yeah. When I went on a date, the guy wanted to shop more than watch football, and to me that was just like really
Was
weird.
that a turn off?
Yeah. I kind of want like a dude.
You want a guy's guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I like to watch the game, and I think that's what I'm in the middle of the spectrum. Like I very much I can get my makeup done on this, and I have no qualms about it.
Right.
And I'm fine with it. But on the other hand, yeah, I want to just like go grab a whiskey and like watch the game, and
I mean, I have girlfriends who are like so despise sports now because their dude is like so obsessed. So I don't know if I care about that, but if I had to pick one end of the spectrum, I would pick definitely a guy's guy.
So you can be the girl, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of the thing?
Well, I don't think don't get me started on that because I'm a huge feminist and I have literally.
Well, being the girl or being the woman does not necessarily mean that whatever traditionally you think it would mean. It would be like there's a guy and there's a girl, and just being the opposite of that spectrum, whatever that is.
I think it's more just like I think there's something like I like enjoy the games aspect of it. So like yeah, there is something a little like I don't know where I'm going with it, but yeah.
That's fine.
Sure. I don't know where I'm going with it. I hate talking
talking
about boys.
No, the best thing about it is that you're not into sports, so we still get like a 5-minute answer. That's how much you and I like to talk. Like, you could be like, so what do you think about Monet? I'm like, oh, Monet, yeah, of course. I'll just go for 5 minutes. It's like, do you know anything about Impressionists from France? Clearly, I know.
Absolutely. I know. I can't believe you knew that, though.
I think that's right.
I'm getting into art more.
I don't know anything about art. My favorite thing said about it is my uncle's an art collector, but I love how, in Seinfeld, the show from the 90s,
Never heard of it.
Where George Costanza, they're just like, they want to go to the Guggenheim. It's like, I don't want to go to the Guggenheim. It's like, why? It's like, somebody else has to explain the thing to me, and then somebody has to explain the explanation.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's so brilliant.
It's
somebody has to
so
explain
true.
the explanation.
It's so true.
I was like, gosh, that's Seinfeld.
But I do
and Larry
also
David.
enjoy the activity of going to those also.
Yeah, I get that. What's your low-class vice, like your guilt food? Like, you know how Fergie was like, I still go to Taco Bell. Like, what's your, like...
Oh, hell yeah, to that.
Taco Bell.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Taco Bell.
But, like, I just, like, this isn't low class. Never mind.
You're like sushi.
I was going to say truffle anything. But truffle fries, truffle pizza.
That's
that's
amazing.
not local.
You're like, oh, escargot.
Yeah.
You know, I can roll some foie gras. From
But
time to
listen,
time.
yes, I do love Taco Bell. Hell yeah, that's like
what's
weird.
your go-to at Taco Bell?
Oh man, cheesy burrito. The Fiesta potatoes, I think, is the most under-discovered best thing on the
agree
menu.
with that. People don't usually hit that.
They don't.
It's not a
think about
trafficked
it.
item.
Oh man, but it is so mine.
Yeah.
Cheesy gordita crunch. I could talk about this forever.
Taco Bell
You're
is.
making me hungry.
Taco Bell's lights out. It is. It is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I made it when Taco Bell tweeted back at me.
Oh man.
I'm like, okay, everybody. Taco Bell tweeted back at me.
Oh, that's.
I don't even remember what I said, but I said something about one of their inventions being the greatest thing since the car or something.
Oh yeah.
And they tweeted me back. They're like, it was. And I tweeted them back. I was like, it was your idea is so supreme. It should have sour cream on it.
They said that back to you?
I said that to them.
Oh, that's good.
And I think they did. That was mic drop. I don't think they had it in for that. I think they were either like that was too cheesy. Or I'm like, no, come on.
Are you a tweeter?
I am in the sense that like, yes, but I don't tweet as much as I post on Instagram or Facebook.
We need to get you to tweet because you have some good one-liners.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, maybe you can tweet about the show.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was like last on the list. I don't know if I want to.
You're first on the list. First in our heart. First
All
in
of
our
a sudden,
heart.
I have a social following and I'm first on the list.
You're like, wow, face famous, name famous. You know how we do it. Favorite time of day?
I'm a night owl.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be up till like especially because during the day now it's so like meeting filled or filming filled that like the time I can actually get work done is literally from like 11 to 2 a.m.
Isn't it funny how even though that's work, we consider work?
It's crazy.
Yeah, like
We're psycho.
unless hands are on a keyboard,
We're psycho.
you're like, yeah. They're like, you did work, you shot something. I'm like, no, this isn't work. When everybody leaves,
Yeah.
like then I can do some work.
It's tough, and it's like I'm on my phone 24/7, and sometimes people see it and be like, "Get off!" I'm like, "You don't get it. It's my actual job." And
Yeah.
it is.
It's
yeah.
hard. That line gets blurred though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because I have to watch YouTube videos for my job. I'm a comic, and so
Yeah.
at one point does it go into like I go, well, when I'm not enjoying it, it's work. If it's
Right.
somebody not naming any names, but I'm watching somebody special, I'm like, this is garbage. I'm like, this is work then. And because I've acted, auditioned, more auditioned than acted, but there are times where I'm watching TV and I have to watch this show and I have to slog through it. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, how's that hard? You're watching TV. I go, because I'd rather be reading a book or reading like a political article or something.
Yeah.
Like this is cheesy garbage to me.
I always say though, like whenever I feel this like annoying self-pity of like, man, I'm so drained or tired, it's like we still get to wake up and do like this.
You worked in an office. I worked in an office. No matter
Yeah.
how grueling it is, no matter how much travel I have, it's not like getting up the grind going to an office every day is way harder.
I wasn't fulfilled by it. Like I would go into work and think I was paying a bill rather than like changing the world in my own way.
Well, they say you can't save the world if you can't pay the rent.
That's true.
There's that. Where can people find you?
On my Insta handle, Deepica, Deepica. YouTube, same thing, Deepica, which is cool. Like I got it across everything. Then
Snapchat as well?
Yeah. Oh no, it's still with an M on that one. I used to have Deepica Cam and then I had to drop the M.
I like Deepica Cam though.
Yeah.
Because you're on camera.
So you get it, but the rest of America, like Indian people get it. They're like, Camera, your last name's with an M, that's cute.
Yeah.
But people thought my name was Deepica Cam.
Okay.
Like
Those people aren't very
imagine,
deep.
Deepica Cam.
Yeah, I get it. I got you. I got you. That's good.
Kinda.
That's good.
I tried.
What is okay?
Oh,
Sorry,
and
so
Tinted.
Snapchat
You have
and
to follow
I was gonna
Tinted.
say you gotta plug that.
Yeah.
Hashtag Live Tinted.
Hashtag Live Tinted.
So what's next for Live Tinted?
So I think that 16-year-old girl in me who wanted to create that product line, it's always been the dream. And I think now that this community exists, it's silly to not create a product for them. So in the works.
In the works. I like it. I like
the works.
the foreshadowing. I like it.
I need to write these down.
You gotta write these down, man.
These are
We'll
good.
give you a copy. We'll give you a copy. That way it'll at least get one view. And some advice to the kids out there, the 16-year-old boys, girls, everyone out there who wants to do what you do. Since you made it, I think you made it, even if you said you're not. You're making it. Let's put it that way. Making it as a makeup.
Do you feel like you made it? I think that's a question that's...
Yes, but I think it all depends on the definition. To me, it actually goes to the personal. Like if you, bragging a little bit here, but I was like, I'm from Ohio, so if you own a plot of land in California, you made it. That's it. You have a house, you're married, you made it. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's not career driven, but it's like, no, but whatever I did to get to this point, the past is prologue, and it's like, I'm sitting here in the United States, in Los Angeles, owning a house with a beautiful wife, doing what I want to do for a living, sitting across from you, building something I want to build. If I don't say I made it, you're a douche. You're a douche. Like, I mean, how in the world did you not make it?
I think like complacency is never a good thing, but appreciating what you've been able to do is. So I think, yeah, you're right. And in that definition, I do feel like that. I think when you're so surrounded by such ambitious people.
Of course. Who are hyper successful.
Hyper successful. It's like you have this like, it's a good energy actually. Actually, one thing, Payo Kadakia, class Payo, she gave me this advice and she was just like, and I think it's such good advice, is like you should be this, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard, but it's like you should be the dumbest person in the room. Like you surround yourself with a squad of people that just make you want to be like smarter and brighter and like work harder.
I totally thought you were gonna say, she said this thing, it was like, be the change you wish to be in the world.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of it, right?
She coined that.
Revolutionary.
Gandhi and Pyle are about the same height.
Right,
so
totally.
That works.
Yeah, that's funny.
Amazing.
But I think that to me, like when I think about for people out there and they want to start, the biggest advice I always say is like just to start, because I think I was so obsessed with like, well, I don't have the camera equipment, I don't have the lighting, I don't know how to upload anything to YouTube, but none of that mattered because I just picked up my iPhone, put out a video, 10 million views later, I'm sitting here next to you. So it's like, it's kind of like you never, and also the other thing is everyone's so obsessed with perfection, and that word is never, you're never gonna reach your level of perfection.
No, you strive for excellence, not perfection. I gave up being a perfectionist at the age of 18. I just said, you know what? And that's one thing you learn going from school to the real world is, the real world, you have to 80 for 20, Pareto rule, man. You just have to get 80 for 20 and you're gonna get promoted. And you don't have to get 100 on everything. I mean, you want, the things that matter, that really matter, you're gonna get them at 100. But the rest of it just has to be good enough. And
also, your 100% is somebody else's like 80%. You know what I mean? Like, your 100% is someone else's 150%.
No, but it cascades. You're right. Somebody else can just do it in their sleep, what you do, with like one-handed.
Yeah.
And other people, you did it, and that you just killed the game.
But
like,
but I think I more meant the other side, where it's like you in your mind are like, oh my god, I'm only giving 80%, but your 80% is that someone else's 100%.
I agree, because we're so much better than everyone.
That's not what I said.
That's how I took it.
That is not what I said.
You're here for some Deepica.
Hashtag
Deepica
TINTED.
That's totally what she meant. Guys, thank you so much, Deepica. You killed it. You always kill it.
I also lost, and I'm pissed.
I know, but we have one on the board. It's hard to keep playing. There you go. You topped me. There you go. That's what's up. So
hashtag feminist.
Hashtag feminist. There you go. I'm on the bottom, like my brother is. He's gay. Okay. The point being,
I want to meet your gay brother. I think we'd be besties.
Yes, I think you will be. I think he is a fan of yours. So that will be really good. He's going to be very jealous that you did my makeup and you love Mean Girls.
I do.
He's like, I should be conducting this interview. You're probably right. Everybody, thank you for joining me on this episode of What Do You Bring to the Table? I've been your host, Rajiv, and I still am. Next week on What Do You Bring to the Table?
I remember I was actually at the White House. His chief of staff actually pulled me aside and said, Miss America, would you like to meet the president?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. You're like, I don't know, I'm a little busy right now. I don't know.
It's okay. Yeah. Right.
I'm good.
So then I realized I'm being led to the Oval Office, and
oh my gosh.
I see President Obama waiting, and he said, oh yes, Nina, please come join me. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, Barack, like, sure.
Called by his first name, that would have been so great.
Like, oh, I'll hang out.